In the golden corridors of the Masai Mara, where wildlife writes its stories in blood and dust, the winds still echo the roars of the legendary Four Musketeers: Hunter, Morani, Sikio, and Scarface. These kings ruled with iron fists and bravery, leaving behind a legacy that cannot be forgotten. That legacy lived on in descendants spread across the reserve, but two stood out with the same passion for achievement, expansion, and rule. They were the strong young lions Red and Tatu, heirs to the lineage of warriors who grew up under the shadow of the greatest lions. But they were not merely shadows of the past. As expected, they wove their own story. When danger called, they were the first to respond. When the jungle challenged them, they resisted with courage. Now, the savannah awaits to see if the sons of the Four Musketeers will honor their father's legacy. Red and Tatu were even mentioned in the BBC's Dynasties series. Today, we will learn more about their path. So get ready for an exciting journey filled with power and passion as we uncover the horizons of the lives of these two magnificent lions. In the place where the golden sun touches the savanna plains, where the strong animals steer the wheel of leadership, lies the Masai Mara National Reserve. It is one of the most famous places in Africa, known for its rich wildlife and epic battles that shape nature's balance, where stories of glory and tragedy are written every day among lions, hyenas, leopards, and other wildlife. For many years, the coalition of the Four Musketeers ruled this region without rival. Hunter, Morani, Sikio, and Scarface, names that the savannah echoed with a mixture of awe, carrying a legacy of power and dominance. The scarred face of Scarface made him the most famous lion in the world. But as with all dynasties, time had its effect. One by one, the Musketeers faced aging and the harsh cycle of the wild. When everyone thought their story had reached its end, it was, unexpectedly, just the beginning of a new tale. Among the descendants left by the Four Musketeers, two began to stand out: Red and Tatu. These young lions bore the weight of a legendary heritage. From an early age, they showed unbreakable resilience, playing and learning to hunt together, as if the power of the original coalition pulsed within them. The presence of Red and Tatu did not go unnoticed. Their strong builds, firm appearances, and contrasting personalities drew attention. Observers followed them closely. But, like many tales of the savannah, the path of Red and Tatu was not easy. As they reached maturity, natural challenges arose before them. Karibu and Rafiki had become the new rulers of the pride, while Red, Tatu, and their brothers were coming of age. The destiny of these young lions soon became clear. Red, Tatu, and their brothers were expelled from the coalition. It was time for them to grow and become kings. The first months of their nomadic life were harsh, but sudden loss shaped their character, maturing them into stronger lions. Red and Tatu were now alone. In the past, lions would hunt recklessly without analyzing their surroundings. But now, they would wait and observe carefully before launching precise attacks. Red and Tatu learned not to repeat mistakes, realizing that analyzing the environment before striking was a better tactic. They found themselves in uncharted territory, facing the challenge of living alone. To become stronger, they needed allies. It was time to overthrow another coalition and claim their throne. Indeed, near the Mara River, there was a pride of experienced lionesses led by an old male whose reign seemed close to ending. Red and Tatu waited patiently, aware of their combined strength, for the right moment to act. At dawn, when the old leader rested away from the lionesses, they struck. With lethal blows, they brought him down. Within hours, the former king had fallen, and Red and Tatu seized power. The lionesses instinctively accepted the new leaders, recognizing their youth and strength. Now, the coalition had a territory to defend and a pride to lead. The era of Red and Tatu had finally begun. Unlike most dominant males, Red and Tatu helped the lionesses in hunting, While most males left hunting to the females, Red and Tatu showed them the importance of careful observation before striking to avoid unnecessary injuries. The two lions became a fearsome force, working in harmony. But with the arrival of cubs, things began to change. Tatu seemed content with life in the pride, focusing on protecting the lionesses and raising a strong generation. Red, however, was restless. He patrolled the territory with unusual intensity, often staring at the distant horizon as if searching for something beyond. Red expanded his patrols, venturing farther from the pride's land. To Tatu, this was a warning sign. He knew his partner carried the ambitious spirit of great conquerors. While Tatu stayed near the lionesses and cubs, guarding the pride's heart, Red explored the boundaries, as if preparing for something greater. Finally, Red's unease reached its peak. He did not return from his nightly patrol. It became clear he was determined to follow his own path. Tatu could not ignore his worry. Sensing something was wrong, he set out to find Red, tracking his scent to bring him back. Meanwhile, Red, exhausted from his journey, stopped to rest near a small rock formation. Under the scorching African sun, he lay down to regain his strength. Hours later, Red awoke to the sound of a familiar threat, the cries of a clan of 20 hungry hyenas, led by experienced mothers searching for food. Alone, Red was the perfect target. The hyenas surrounded the lone lion with cunning strategy. Their leader commanded swift, evasive attacks, forcing Red to waste energy on defensive moves. Each strike was designed to sap his strength, making him slower and more vulnerable. Red fought bravely for a long time, but fatigue set in. It was only a matter of time before he collapsed. But Tatu, following his brother's trail, heard the sounds of battle in the distance. Anger filled him as he saw the hyenas attacking Red. Charging in fury, Tatu killed several hyenas and chased their leader, forcing the rest to retreat. He had saved Red's life. Grateful, Red returned to the coalition, spending more time with his pride. Red and Tatu found peace and safety among their lionesses and cubs. For a few weeks, life seemed calm, but Red's restlessness returned. The horizon still called to him. This time, it seemed Tatu shared the same desire. They were the heirs of the Four Musketeers, and the spirit of conquest still flowed in their veins. This time, the two lions set out together into the unknown. But they were not alone. Their lionesses and cubs followed them across the vast Masai Mara horizon. Yet, mysteries remain hidden by the savannah. After leaving proudly in search of new lands, Red, Tatu, and their pride disappeared, with no sightings for a long time. Wildlife follows its own rhythm, where silence often replaces answers. Tatu was not seen again until 2019. When rangers spotted him with a small group of lionesses, mating with one. Though Red was absent, Tatu seemed to have found stability with new lionesses, different from those of his original pride. After that, Tatu disappeared once more. Officially, that was his last sighting. Still, regular visitors to the reserve claim to have seen the brothers at different times, living nomadic lives alone, without lionesses. Some even claimed they saw them separated, each walking his own path. Whether these reports are true or just reflections of the desire to keep the memory of the heirs of the Four Musketeers alive, no one knows for sure. What is certain is that, like their fathers, Red and Tatu left their mark on the Masai Mara. They taught us that loyalty and partnership can save lives and impose dominance across the vast savannah.